Some authors, they write great books. But then there are others who come along and just completely redraw the blueprint of what a novel can even be. Today, we're diving into one of those true architects of new worlds, the one and only Jeanette Winterson.
And that quote, it just nails it, right? She's not just a writer, she's a literary architect who has spent her entire career building these incredible new worlds and redefining the very boundaries of storytelling. But the real question is, how on earth did she do it?
Okay, so let's set the stage. Jeanette Winterson burst onto the British literary scene and was immediately seen as this groundbreaking force, right from her very first novel back in 1985. She wasn't just another new writer, she was a rebel voice.
And that's really what she's all about. From day one, her work has been this fearless, direct dive into these huge personal themes. She's always challenging her readers, pushing us to see the world just a little bit differently.
So, to really get what makes her so special, we've got to look at the unique blueprint she uses to build her stories. Let's break down the key pieces that make a Winterson novel, well, a Winterson novel.
So right at the heart of everything she writes is this totally unflinching look at life outside of the so-called normal. She gives a powerful voice to experiences that for so long were pushed to the margins, digging into both the struggle and the absolute beauty of forging your own path.
But here's the thing. It's not just what she says, it's how she says it. Seriously, reading Winterson isn't always like reading a novel. It often feels more like you're reading poetry. She weaves in myths and philosophy to create this amazingly rich, lyrical style that's all her own.
And this might just be the most revolutionary part of her whole approach. She doesn't just tell a story from point A to point B. No way. She messes with time. She braids different stories together. She uses these surreal, dreamlike moments. She completely reimagines how a story can even be put together.
That is the big question, isn't it? So let's jump straight to her groundbreaking debut novel and see exactly how all these pieces came together in a book that just shook the literary world to its core. Okay, here we go. Oranges are not the only fruit. This book, wow, it's semi-autobiographical, and it was the world's first major introduction to her style. And let me tell you, it was an absolute sensation.
And believe me, the impact was instant. Winning the prestigious Whitbread Prize for your first novel? That's huge. It was like a giant flare going up, announcing that this powerful, unmissable new voice had just arrived.
And you can totally see that blueprint we talked about at play here. The story is about a young girl, Jeanette, who's grappling with her identity and sexuality inside this very strict religious community. You've got that central clash between dogma and self. Even the title is this perfect symbol for rejecting a narrow, one-size-fits-all world. And the structure? It's told through these little stories and fables. That's pure Winterson.
Now, after a debut like that, a lot of authors might just stick to what works, right? But not Winterson. Nope. She took her blueprint and immediately started applying it to completely new settings and ideas. Always pushing, always exploring. Just look at this incredible range. And this is just over a few years. She takes us to the Napoleonic Wars in The Passion, but she fills it with magical realism. Where bizarre, dreamlike things are treated as totally normal. Then boom, she jumps to a postmodern fantasy with Sexing the Cherry, mixing 17th century London with time travel. And then there's Written on the Body, an entire love story where the narrator has no name and no gender. The sheer inventiveness is it's breathtaking.
So, when you put it all together, what does it all add up to? What is her enduring legacy? Why do we still talk about her as this vital, crucial figure in literature today? When you boil it all down, it's her brave, honest writing that has made her an absolute icon in both feminist and LGBTQ+ literature. She didn't just join the conversation. She helped build the foundation for so many writers who came after her. Her legacy, it's not just one thing. It's huge. She makes you, the reader, confront your own ideas about love and who you are. She pushes us to look at history and femininity differently. And maybe the biggest thing is she explores how the stories we tell ourselves literally create our reality. That innovative, poetic style is still influencing a whole new generation of writers today. And that's really the question she leaves us with, isn't it? It's such a powerful idea to sit with. Jeanette Winterson's genius is showing us that we are all, in the end, made of stories. And if we have the courage to challenge those stories, we can redefine not just the world, but ourselves.